In today's episode of The Story of Animals, we're heading to the shoreline, the deep sea, and even the crab dance floor. Crabs are everywhere, scuttling sideways, raising claws, and occasionally stealing the spotlight with their quirky habits. And today, we'll explore 5 of the most well-known. Welcome to 5 types of crabs you should know. The ghost crab. Our first star is the ghost crab, the sandy sprinter of the shoreline. With pale, almost see-through bodies, they're perfectly camouflaged against the beach. Their name comes not from spooky behavior, but from their ghostly, whitish appearance. What makes them really impressive? Their speed. Ghost crabs can dash sideways at nearly 10 miles per hour. To put that into perspective, if they were human-sized, Usain Bolt would be in trouble. These crabs also build burrows deep into the sand, sometimes several feet down, where they hide from predators in the heat of the sun. So, next time you're at the beach and spot something zipping across the sand before vanishing into a hole, you've just seen one of nature's fastest little sprinters. The king crab. Now we trade small for colossal. The king crab is one of the largest crabs on Earth, with legs that can stretch over 5 feet long. Their shells are spiky, their size intimidating, and their nickname well-earned. They truly look like the monarchs of the sea floor. But don't let appearances fool you. Despite their fearsome armor, king crabs aren't ruthless predators. Instead, they're mostly scavengers, cleaning up the seabed by eating whatever they can find. In that sense, they're less tyrannical ruler and more giant janitor with a crown. Of course, humans know them best for another reason. They're a prized delicacy. Just one leg can yield enough meat to feed a hungry seafood lover. The king crab, it seems, rules both the sea and the dinner plate. The blue crab. From giants, let's shrink back down to the feisty blue crab, native to the Atlantic coast of the United States. These crabs are famous for their bright blue claws and greenish shells, like living gems crawling across the sea floor. But don't let the beauty distract you. Blue crabs have a temper to match their vibrant color. Try to pick one up and you'll quickly learn why fishermen wear gloves. They wave their pincers like swords, daring anyone to get too close. Despite their attitude, blue crabs are crucial to coastal ecosystems, acting as both predator and prey. And yes, they're also famous for another reason, ending up in crab boils and seafood feasts. So they're both fighters and, in a way, food celebrities. The hermit crab. Unlike the flashy blue crab, the hermit crab plays a different game. Hermit crabs don't grow their own protective shells. Instead, they move into abandoned snail shells, carrying them around as portable houses. As they grow, they must find larger shells, sometimes lining up with other hermit crabs in what looks like the world's slowest housing chain. These little homeowners are also surprisingly social. In the wild, they often live in groups, sometimes gathering in large clusters as they explore tide pools or beaches. Watching them swap shells is like observing a tiny real estate market in action. Hermit crabs prove that you don't need to build your own armor if you're clever enough to borrow someone else's. The fiddler crab. Finally, let's meet the fiddler crab, the crustacean that looks like it's permanently lopsided. Males have one claw that's comically oversized, sometimes as large as their entire body, and one tiny claw for eating. What's the giant claw for? 2 things. Attracting mates and fighting rivals. Males wave it in elaborate displays like they're at a silent disco where the only dance move is show off your arm. If another male approaches, the claw becomes a dueling weapon. Of course, the downside is that the giant claw isn't practical for feeding. That's why they rely on the smaller claw to scoop up food. Imagine trying to eat cereal with one hand while balancing a giant trophy in the other. That's life for the fiddler crab. Crabs may all share the same sideways walk, but their personalities and strategies couldn't be more different. Some are quick, some are colossal, some are stylish, and some are just plain quirky. Together, they show us how even familiar animals can surprise us with their incredible variety and odd little superpowers. And that concludes today's journey into the fascinating world of crabs. Now it's time to see how much you've learned from today's episode. We've got 3 fun trivia questions coming up. Ready? Let's start. Question 1. Why do male fiddler crabs have one oversized claw? A. To scare predators. B. To attract mates and fight rivals. C. To dig burrows faster. D. To swim more efficiently. The correct answer is B. To attract mates and fight rivals. The oversized claw is both a signal of strength and a dueling tool, though it's pretty useless at mealtime. This makes the fiddler crab one of the flashiest show-offs in the animal kingdom. Let's move on to the next question. Question 2. What unusual habit makes hermit crabs unique? A. They use abandoned shells as homes. B. They glow in the dark. C. They live only in fresh water. D. They can fly short distances. The correct answer is A. They use abandoned shells as homes. Since their bodies aren't fully protected, hermit crabs rent shells for safety, upgrading as they grow. Their constant house hunting is a survival strategy and a perfect example of animal resourcefulness. Let's move on to the last question for this episode. Question 3. Which crab is known as one of the fastest runners on the beach? A. King crab. B. Ghost crab. C. Blue crab. D. Fiddler crab. The correct answer is B. Ghost crab. With their ghostly camouflage and incredible speed, they're the sprinters of the shoreline. Their ability to vanish into burrows almost instantly makes them masters of the disappearing act. Great job if you got all 3 right. And if not, you've still picked up some sideways wisdom about these fascinating crabs. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other binge-able channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.